Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We have live commentary from the Spanish top tier tonight as both sides look to get their season underway in the best way possible, with Real Betis hosting Real Sociedad. Betis under Manuel Pellegrini for the 6th season. Finished 5th last year, securing their spot in Europe's premier competition. Look to improve upon last campaign's finish under the Chilean manager. Real Sociedad, meanwhile, only finished 10th in the league table last time out, but did secure the cup just for the 4th time in the club's history, beating Atletico Madrid in Seville, incidentally, for that title on penalty kicks. Their boss, Pellegrino Matarazzo, only appointed in December, gets a full pre-season for the first time in charge of the Basque club, looking to lead them back into the European places through the league table. We are just a few minutes away from kick-off at La Cartuja, where Betis are still, of course, playing their home games. Their home stadium, the Villamarín, not ready to go until 2028. Betis enjoyed their stay at the Seville Olympic Stadium last season, winning 10 of their 19 home games in the league, just falling to Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, in fact. And they have a good recent record against today's opponents. Sociedad have not tasted victory against Real Betis in their last 4 games. 3 losses and 1 draw, which came last season, a 2-2 one at home. Last time they faced in Seville, however, it was Betis who ran out. Winners Cucho Hernandez and Pablo Fornals on the score sheet on that occasion. Both start today for Manuel Pellegrini in the season opener. So Spanish top flight has had a staggered start. A few teams have played their first games, but these two yet to get underway, as they will this evening, ready to kickstart their 26-27 campaign ahead of the season coming. So, starting off with some team news for tonight, and we'll begin with the home side, Real Betis. Manuel Pellegrini gives 2 debuts to 2 new summer signings, except the marquee one, Troy Parrott, Irish striker signed from AZ Alkmaar, confirmed yesterday for €20 million. Hasn't made the matchday squad, didn't make the signing on time, but there are other 2 big summer signings, Facundo Bernal from Fluminense and Fran Garcia from Real Madrid. Both make their Betis bow. Their team in full then. Starting in goal is Alvaro Valles. A back 4 then of Hector Bellerin, Marc Bartra skippers the side, Nathan next to him, and Fran Garcia at left back. Birthday boy and new signing Facundo Bernal on his 23rd. The Uruguayan makes his debut in the middle of the park alongside Marc Roca and Pablo Fornals. Up front then, Anthony, former Manchester United winger, alongside Rodrigo Riquelme, with Cucho Hernandez leading the line. 11 goals in the league for the Colombian striker last campaign. Their top scorer domestically, 15 in total for the 27-year-old former MLS MVP. For Sociedad, a bit quieter for them in the transfer front. Only the one signing, a youth player, Kazunori Kita, Japanese from Kyoto Sanga, and he is not involved today. Few outgoings, Bryce Mendes, Carlos Fernandez, Javi Lopez as well. They line up as follows: Alex Romero in goal, John Arambaru at right back, with Igor Zubeldia and Jean Martin anchoring the middle of the defence. Sergio Gomez takes his place at left back. In the middle of the park then, Yangel Herrera, Lucas Sucic and Carlos Soler will provide the graft and running, with Takefusa Kubo and Ander Barnechea either side of Ori Oscarson, the centre forward. Skipper, talisman and World Cup winner Mikel Oyarzabal on the bench for Sociedad today. We should see him at some point this evening. Our referee today is Istro Diaz, as Marc Bartra shakes hands with Igor Zubeldia, the 2 centre-backs, conducting the coin toss in the middle of the park. A few injuries for Betis. Giovanni Lo Celso, Aitor Rubial and Abde Ezalzouli, the main players, out for them. Gonzalo Guedj and Alvaro Adriozola miss out for Sociedad through injury as well. But La Cartuja is decked in green and white as Betis take the field at home, their temporary home for the first time this season. Sociedad in their all black away strip, ready to get going for the new season. They'll have high hopes. Obviously, Pellegrino Matarazzo came in late on in the season, halfway through, in 20th of December, after a tough run of games, but led them safely into mid-table, and then to that cup victory, which they won, as mentioned, at La Cartuja on penalty kicks. Baranetsea and Orizabal with the goals on that occasion for the Basque side against Atletico Madrid. Real Betis fifth in the table, qualifying for the top tier of European football. First time since 2005-2006, and only the second time ever in that competition. Ready to go now for kick-off will be Real Sociedad, who get us underway here in Seville, approaching 9 o'clock local time. Sociedad shooting from left to right in this first half, and for the first time in 26-27 in the Spanish top flight. We are underway as Sucic goes all the way back to Ramiro in goal, decked out in all blue. Goes long out to the left-hand side. Bernachea, the target over the head of the Betis defender. Early attack this for Sociedad. Then the left-hand side. Gomez getting forward early from left back. Just held up there. Ball into the feet of Soler. He's put to the ground. Referee says play on for the moment. Sociedad keep possession. Now in the centre circle with Zubeldia. Back to Jean Martin, 20-year-old centre back for Sociedad. Ball given away in the middle of the park now. Fresh chance for Betis to get forward. Early touch on his Betis debut for Fran Garcia, former Real Madrid man. Marc Roca. And now here is Bernal, the other debutant, in there in the middle of the park. Hector Bellerin back into Facundo Bernal, Uruguayan, as mentioned, signed from Fluminense in the summer, 10 million euros. Betis splashed out as Bartra gets on the ball. Out to Bellerin again, approaching halfway. Down the line as far as Anthony. Lovely little 1-2 in the middle of the park with Fornals. And Anthony is in behind the defence, has options in the middle. Left foot across to the back post, and it's just headed behind. Riquelme was approaching. Arambaru was there as well. Early attack for the home side. Brilliant release of Anthony down the left. It's a delightful cross from the Brazilian with the outside of the left foot. Looking for Rodrigo Riquelme at the back post, but Arambaru just does enough. Comes off the body of Riquelme and out for a goal kick. What a start to the season that would have been for Real Betis. Anthony at the heart of it, at such a good season on loan from Manchester United last campaign. That's been made permanent. And here he is on the ball again, this time pressed high by Sergio Gomez, who wins it back. And while Pellegrini's strutting the sidelines, as mentioned, 311 games. This is 312th in charge. He's been in Europe for 6 straight seasons in all 3 competitions in Europe. But now needs Betis, the biggest one at the moment. Arambaru. Ball into the feet of Kubo. Featured during the summer for Japan, of course. Takefusa Kubo. Picks it up in the middle again. Oscarson is peeled out to this right-hand side, the Icelandic centre forward. Bit of a spell possession here now for Sociedad. Martin now to his left, into the middle now. To be picked up. Little ball out to the left-hand side, looking for Sucic on that occasion, but too much on that pass from Yangel Herrera. Sociedad win it back though. Here's Zubeldia crossing into the Betis half. surveying his options ahead of him. Kubo out to his right. Here is the Japanese international. Rodrigo Riquelme doing defensive work, fits back inside. Martin again. And Zubeldia forced all the way back toward Alex Romero. As Betis get into their defensive shape, Sociedad goalkeeper just puts his studs on the ball and now goes long through the middle. Oscarson the target. Nathan, the Brazilian centre back away. They're back in by Herrera. Sucic trying to control it out on the left hand side. Gets it nicked off by Bayern, but it breaks for Sociedad. 1-2 now as they attack through the middle. Strike from distance. It was Barnechea that time. Comes off Nathan again. And it's behind for the first corner kick of the game. 4 minutes gone. Real Betis 0, Real Sociedad 0. As we see that chance again for Betis. Anthony brilliantly down the right hand side. Lovely cross. And Riquelme just couldn't divert it home. John Arambaru just puts his body in the way. Corner kick from this right hand side. Floated into the middle. Headed away at the near post for Betis as Anthony goes chasing after that loose ball. Beaten to it and sent back in towards the Real Betis penalty area. Nathan gets a call from behind him from Alvaro Valles, goalkeeper, who leaves it and then throws it out to the right hand side. Chance for Hector Bellerin to get forward. Now here's Pablo Fornals drifted out wide. Goes to ground to try win it off Barnechea, but it's out for a Sociedad throw in. Pablo Fornals, of course, former West Ham United midfielder, as well as Villarreal. There's Sociedad on the ball again. Jean Martin, 20 years old, the Spaniard. Big hopes for him. And through the academy, 51 appearances now for the senior team. As they maintain possession at the back again. Romero fires it into the feet of Kubo out the right hand side as they try to work through the middle. Sociedad, a bit of a risky pass in there from Sucic, but nice ball from Romero out to the right hand side. Breaks in the middle here for Soler. Kubo again. Oscarson up with them, but it's good defending that time, but it's nearly a loose pass back to Valles from Fran Garcia. Garcia tracked Kubo all the way across. Looked as though he'd cut it out, but Oscarson nearly lurking to take advantage of that back pass. Betis goalkeeper gets rid though. Good start to this game. Sucic in the middle of the park for Sociedad. 6 minutes on the clock. No goals as of yet. Zubeldia on halfway. Out to this right hand side again. Kubo comes short to pick it up. Squares up Rodrigo Riquelme. Plays it infield. Here's Sucic again. Now on this right hand side as they try to work it through the middle, but possession is turned over as Cucho Hernandez looks to be released over the top. Headed away by Jean Martin that time. Arambaru does well. Exchanges pass with Yangel Herrera and then goes to ground under a challenge of Marc Roca. Free kick to Sociedad just shy of the halfway line. Physical start to this game. As Sociedad hold on to possession again. Now to Gomez on the left hand side. Back into Martin. Now Zubeldia over on this right hand side. Lets it run beyond him. Plays it down the line to Kubo. Little flicker in the corner towards Arambaru. Well read by Betis, who've turned it over. Garcia trying to brush past Zubeldia. Just takes a heavy touch. And it's out for a throw in. See that little flick around the corner from Kubo. Talented former Real Madrid Academy man, Takefusa Kubo. Hasn't quite happened for him at the very top level, but still exceptionally talented individual now. 25 years of age. Throw in for Betis along this left hand side. Fran Garcia into Nathan, and now here's Mark Bartra. Haven't really had an extended spell of possession. Betis. It's fired out for the feet of Anthony. Up against Sergio Gomez. Barnechea comes to close the space as well. Back into Hector Bellerin, Fornals, and now Anthony looking for gaps along that right hand side. Played back in. Here's Roca. Now Nathan again. Garcia wide on this left hand side and is free. Inside is Riquelme, gives it to his feet. Riquelme tries to get around Kubo but gives it away. Here's Oscarson, tries to find Kubo once more, but once Again, Betis win it back. Rodrigo Riquelme looking for Garcia in behind, but at that time Yangel Herrera was well positioned to cut it out. And Sociedad win it back. Herrera lets it run toward his Venezuelan counterpart Arambaru. Sociedad try to play their way out of trouble. Herrera again under a bit of pressure down in the corner. Good challenge from Roca, doesn't let him escape. It will be a Sociedad throw in. Roca, ex-Leeds United man, just putting the pressure on. So throw in deep in their own half here for Sociedad. Arambaru heaves one down the line toward Oscarson. One in the air that time by Garcia, and now Oscarson on the chase looking to capitalise, but Valles out of his goal as that ball was played in behind. Good starting position from the goalkeeper, and then Arambaru comes straight through the back there of Riquelme, gives away the free kick. Riquelme just feels that on the back of his left leg. Strong challenge from the fullback, and it will be a Betis free kick. As we see Troy Parrott in the stands. 20 million euros from AZ, over 30 goals and assists for the Irish centre forward. Not involved today, but much excitement about it. Provide competition himself and Cucho Hernandez. Good options for Manuel Pellegrini. They lost the likes of Cedric Bakambu and Chevalier in the summer on free transfers. Decked up front. Now here's Yangel Herrera attacking for Sociedad, lifts it over the top. Again, the target, in fact this time it's Sucic. It made the run from the middle, but it's too close to Valles. Again, starting position is good. They win it back, but they're looking for that early ball in behind. Sucic joining on those runs from deep with Oscarson. He's playing as a front two, the Croat and the Icelander. Out to the right hand side now for Betis. Anthony picks it up once more. Plays it infield to the feet of Hernandez. His touch lets him down, but Martin just plays it straight out of play. And it will be Betis throw in inside the Sociedad half. 10 minutes gone here, no goals. Best chance of the game for the home side. Rodrigo Riquelme inside 90 seconds. Thrown down the line from Bayern. A little flick inside by Anthony towards Bernal, but he can't quite control it. A bit scrappy in the middle as Sociedad try to get it down through Barrenechea. Now Herrera does well to power through the middle and then is brought down in the centre circle. Referee lost his balance momentarily, and as Herrera was side down, looked like he wasn't going to see it, but free kick has been awarded. Mr. Diaz, our referee, just getting tangled into the bodies in the middle of the park. Mark Rocco bundled into him, and then Garcia with the heavy challenge on Herrera in the middle of the park. Garcia perhaps a bit fortunate not to escape a booking there. Set over the top now for Sociedad. Arambaru is in behind. Low cross in the middle. Nathan deals with it. Might come back to Kubo, but Rodrigo Riquelme does just enough to get it away. Sociedad are having a bit of joy when they go direct. That time Arambaru forward from right back. Gets on the end of that long ball. Betis again to pass their way out of trouble here. Eventually give it away. Herrera picks it up in the middle. Fends off the defender in Cucho Hernandez and has it on the halfway line. Zubeldia just forced to track back toward his own goal. And now it's Ramiro. Jean Martin looking ahead, seeing what's in front of him. Goes instead to Igor Zubeldia next to him. Fizzed into the feet of Kubo. Little ball around the corner for Herrera. This is nice stuff as Barrenechea plays it up to Sucic. Now he loses possession. Fornals picks it up in the middle of the park. Out to the right hand side. Bayer in. Looks forward. Tries to slip it down the channel for Hernandez. But that time Martin was well aware of the danger. Now possession is with the away team once more. Zubeldia just at the edge of his own 18-yard box. Betis pressing high as Ramiro receives it to feet. Little pass into the middle. Kubo tries to play it forward first time, but that's cut out by Betis. Anthony now heads it to the feet of Bernal. Thought he was fouled, the Brazilian, after laying that off. Referee says no free. So here's Nathan. Riquelme's pass around the corner doesn't initially work out, but it comes back to him as he tries to make inroads through the Sociedad defence, but the touch is too heavy, allows Alex Romero to just come out of his goal and nick it back. There's Yangel Herrera once more. They're involved in a lot of possession of the Venezuelan. Romero once more. Zubeldia. It's a long one down the right hand side. Kubo, but defending that time from Fran Garcia, and it makes its way all the way back to the feet of Valles. Long ball forward from him out to this left hand side. Riquelme had made a run in behind. Sociedad wanted an offside flag. It stays down, and instead it's a throw into the hosts. Garcia into the middle of the park towards Bernal now. Rock. I haven't really seen the two of them combine as of yet. Most of the possession in the middle of the park has been Sociedad's. Here's Nathan stepping forward, out from the back. Garcia free on this left hand side. Nice first touch from the fullback. Low cross in the middle. It's dealt with initially. Comes out to the edge of the box. Riquelme. Hernandez turns into the middle. Tries to play it back towards Riquelme. It's blocked. Comes back to the Colombian. Tries to bury his way through a few challenges, but Kubo's there. Gives it away though at the edge of the box. It's still there for Roca on this left hand side. Bernal now. Betis just forced back slightly, but Sociedad dropped all 11 players within 30 yards of their own goal. Rocket Bartra trying to find that pass to Bellerin. It's cut out though. And now a chance for Sociedad to break as Kubo was set free along this right hand side. Kubo does well to get beyond Garcia. Good strength by the Japanese winger. Cuts inside onto his right foot. Trying to make an angle for a cross. Nathan across though, to put it out for a corner. Second one of the game for Sociedad. To be alert there, the veteran Brazilian defender, 35 years of age now. Kubo got past Fran Garcia very easily, but just couldn't quite pick out the cross. Here comes the corner kick, second one of the game for Real Sociedad. Soler, left-footed, another low one towards the middle. And again, it's easily cleared from Betis. And Arambaru forced all the way back to Romero in goal. A waste of a set piece, you'd have to say. As it's switched out to this right-hand side. Sociedad give possession away now. Fornals finds Bellerin crossing halfway. Bit of room for Anthony. Receives it to feet. He's running at Gomez. Anthony cuts inside onto that left foot of his. Bellerin peels out to the right. Anthony comes back infield toward Roca. Riquelme's pass towards Garcia is loose. But they still have it here. Betis with Marc Roca again. Nathan out to Hector Bellerin. Trying to again come down this right hand side with Anthony. Receives it further infield this time. Betis still in control of possession. Looking ahead is Fornals back infield to Bernal. Roca out to this left hand side. Garcia forward again. Always willing to attack from left back. Rodrigo Riquelme now out to this left hand side. What about a deep cross from the right hand side, but instead maintains possession. Bartra stepping out from defence again. Sociedad just dropping everyone behind the ball as they look to defend their box. Riquelme can't get past Kubo. Working hard off the ball. There's Garcia there in support. That is just moving from side to side at the moment. Fornals dropping deeper to get on the ball. Nathan. Fran Garcia. Riquelme now out on this left-hand touchline. Sociedad disciplined in their shape and defending as Bernal switches it to the right-hand side. Pablo Fornals. Bellerin makes a move in behind. Fornals clips it over the top, but there's too much on that. And the two can't combine, and it's a goal kick. And Pellegrino Matarazzo will be happy with that, as we see his skipper on the bench. World champion, of course, Mikel Oyarzabal. Couldn't make the squad, the starting 11 today, on the bench though. As it's played long towards Kubo, but this time put out by Fran Garcia. Left-footed clearance by the fullback in towards Fornals. Sociedad again want an offside flag that's not raised, but they still have possession with Yangel Herrera. Sucic now. To Zubeldia. They've looked comfortable in possession so far this game with the visitors. Not really creating too much. Neither keeper has really had a save to make. As here's one of them on it, Ramiro, over to Zubeldia. Another long ball forward, looking to play it over the top. Baez came all the way forward. Bit of a heavy touch from the goalkeeper. Betis have it. Riquelme now looking to switch play towards Anthony, but too close to the goal mouth and easily picked up by Ramiro. A few times now Alvaro Baez had to be called upon to intervene a long way from his goal. Didn't exactly get that clearance right, could have been in trouble. Suggestions of a potential foul on Yangel Herrera as he came through. Zubeldia now finds Herrera, a little layoff towards Sucic. Has to hurry his pass back to Zubeldia under pressure from Fornals. Back with Ramiro now. Clipped into the middle. It's a poor pass from the goalkeeper straight to Garcia, who nods it forward towards Roca. Now here's Bernal. Anthony immediately surrounded by three black shirts. Now to Bellerin and back to Anthony. Lovely little ball in behind. Bellerin has space for a cross. Clips into the back post. Keeper stretches, is headed behind by Arambaru. Next chance there for Betis. And looks like Zubeldia may have hurt himself. Bellerin again combining with Anthony. Just touched high into the sky by the goalkeeper. Corner kick for Betis. In swinger from Fornals towards the back post. Headed away well. Comes out to Bellerin on the edge of the box. Nice touch from him and finds Fornals again. Another cross into the middle. Header on goal is from a Sociedad man, but it's kindly up into the air, straight into the arms of Ramiro. He wants to get the counter-attack going quickly. Fizzed it out towards Berenachea, but was never really getting to him, and Betis have it again. So, half an opportunity that. Another one combining down the right. This time is Bellerin. They come down the left this time, but Kubo again tracking back manfully. Gets in the way to intercept that pass from Garcia. And Sociedad have possession again with Ramiro. Under pressure from Cucho Hernandez, just about gets it away. Garcia steps in front of Kubo to win it back. Now Betis will start to build up from the back. Here's Mark Roca. No way for Fornals to go, except back to Nathan, his Brazilian centre-back. Bartra over to Bellerin on the right-hand side. Anthony comes short to receive it. Heavy touch though allows Gomez to come in and nick it off him. Now here's Yangel Herrera. Back to goal. Just plays it to Jean Martin again. Gomez gesticulating in front of him, picks out Carlos Soler. I haven't seen too much of him. Finds the feet of Oscarson. This is better from Sociedad, playing through the lines. Out to the left hand side, Berenachea now. Yeah, weave some of that magic of his. Out to the left hand side where Oscarson has stayed. Looking for options. Soler was through the middle, but that was well read by Bartra. Now the counter is on for Betis, led here by Pablo Fornals. Anthony out to his right. Can he slip him in? He can. Anthony has a chance for a shot, just drags it. And it's a comfortable save for Ramiro. That was a real chance for Betis. Brilliant counter-attack. Fornals through the middle. Finds the feet of Anthony well. But he just gets caught underneath them, directing his shot toward goal. It's a weak effort. And it's a handy enough save for the goalkeeper. First effort on target goes to Real Betis. Expected a man of Anthony's talents to do better. As the home side win a free kick on halfway line, Kubo's challenge not to the liking of our referee Istro Diaz. On Fran Garcia there. So we see that chance again. Never got it out of his feet, did Anthony. And it sort of just dribbled into the arms of Romero, heading toward the bottom corner. He has been lively. As Anthony. Nathan now into the middle of the park. Lovely turn by Raquelme to give it back to him. Referee plays the advantage. Nathan continues his marauding forward, looking to play it out to the left towards Garcia. He gets that all wrong. Again, a promising attack there for Betis. Pellegrini turns away in frustration. There's a chance there if they'd gotten that final pass right. Just that extra bit of quality lacking in attacking areas for Betis at the moment. Obviously, first game of the season, they're going to be rusty. But there is promise there as they've grown into this game. Mainly Sociedad with possession early on, but the best chances so far have fallen toward the home side. Fornals now picks it up on halfway, forced back to Bartra, but then retrieves it again. Trying to make everything tick here. Pablo Fornals lofts one over the top. Brilliant run from Riquelme in behind. Nice first touch from Rodrigo Riquelme into the feet of Roca. Lines one up from 25 yards. Never really heading on target from Marc Roca. Nice move from Betis again. This time Fornals over the top. Riquelme coming in off his wing to pick it up at the edge of the penalty area. No real movement. Laid it off to Rock, who decided to have a go, but as I said, never really heading toward goal. And he drags his shot wide. We will pause the first half action there for the moment for a temporary cooling break. 26 degrees Celsius in Seville at the moment. So at La Cartuja, teams just getting fluids on board. Of course, we saw that during the summer in North America. A lot of consternation about that. We were keeping it in Spain, at least for the moment. Been an interesting opening 25 minutes. Still scoreless between Betis and Sociedad here. And even though Sociedad came out comfortably in possession, it's the home side who've started to create more and more chances today. Anthony Calme as well. Still evenly poised at 0-0. What did Pellegrino do to try to find the breakthrough for his side? I do wonder if he wished he could bring someone like Troy Parrott off the bench. Not really having too many forward options on the bench. As mentioned, the likes of Lo Celso and Ezalzuli out injured. Pablo Garcia, their only real recognised attacker. They have Isco, of course, club captain, on the bench. Nelson Diossa there as well, but unlike Sociedad, can unleash Mikel Oyarzabal at any given point. They don't have that type of player for them. Long ball forward from Sociedad as we resume play. Nathan heads it out to the left hand side. Garcia picks it up toward the Brazilian centre back with a bit of a question marks about his future. 35 years of age now, as mentioned, Nathan. As they come forward, Fran Garcia is closed down by Kubo. Sociedad look to win it back, but Kubo get the better of Mark Rocca and concedes the throw in. Pellegrino Matarazzo, the American. Spelled in Germany, Hoffenheim. In Spain. And as I said, first time a full pre-season under his belt. Sociedad have been quite quiet in the transfer market. No any incomings to speak of. They have a throw in. Arambaru down the line for Oscarson. Headed clear. As Betis look to get on the ball again. Up towards Hernandez. Does well to hold it up and find Riquelme, who can cut inside, but he's closed down. Finds Rocca, but Betis still in possession with Mark Rocca, just shy of the halfway line. No real options ahead of him, so it comes back to Nathan. Rocca once more, crossing into the Sociedad half, fires it into the feet of Fran Garcia, who's taken from behind by Arambaru. And it will be a free kick, taken quickly by Rocca, who switches it out to Bayerin on the right hand side. Anthony now. Chance to run at the fullback. Berenche in support. It makes his way back to Rocca. Loose touch from him, intercepted by Herrera. Now a chance for Sociedad to scramble forward. Oscarson, brilliant touch around Nathan. Through on goal. Oscarson looks to chip it over Valles, but it's over the bar. A massive, massive chance there for Sociedad. Their best of the game. Yangel Herrera leading the counter-attack, finds Oscarson on the right-hand side, does brilliantly to get beyond Nathan. But as he tried to lift it over the on-rushing Valles, just gets it underneath it completely and skies it. Through on goal was the Icelandic centre-forward, but couldn't find the target. And it's 0-0. Best chance of the game so far goes to Real Sociedad. But it remains 0-0. Really, really good opportunity for Ari Oscarson. Just 21 years of age. Scored 10 times in 25 games last season. Couldn't get off the mark for this campaign there. Throwing for Real Betis over the far side of the pitch. Oscarson still looking a bit miffed by that. Massive chance. Knew as soon as he hit it that there was too much on it and was going over the bar. Lovely switch of play from Betis out to the left hand side. Garcia leaves it for Riquelme but continues his run forward. Fornals in the middle. Riquelme back in field just beyond Garcia, and Betis player can't reach it. It's played up towards Sucic. Well won in the air that time by Bartra. Bayerin putting himself about. Here is Hector Bayerin along the right hand side. Plays it back toward halfway. Bartra picks it up again. There's Mark Rocca. Anthony receives it to feet and then plays it back as far as Facundo Bernal. Now Fran Garcia infield to Riquelme. Nathan. And now Bernal. Right hand side, Fornals plays it down the line, but Hernandez was coming back from an offside position and really get involved in that. Sociedad in possession once again. Goalkeeper Ramiro, 32 minutes gone, no goals in Seville. Bartra wins that ahead with Berenche, but it breaks nicely in the middle of the park for Luka Sucic. Yangel Herrera in the centre circle, out to this right hand side. Arambaru, chance to ramble forward. Kubo receives the feet, dances around two Betis defenders, lovely footwork, but then Fran Garcia stood strong to win it back and now comes back the other way. Green and white shirt streaming forward. Fornals out to this left hand side. A lot of space in the middle here for Rodrigo Riquelme. 30 yards from goal. Lines up his shots, fakes it, goes into Hernandez, who can't quite control it. Good defending that time from Sergio Gomez to win it back again. That final bit of quality just lacking for Betis as Bernal crashes into Yangel Herrera in the middle of the park. Brilliant by Kubo down one end. Gets it nicked off and Garcia leads the counter. Kelme, nice ball into Hernandez. But Sergio Gomez in the right place at the right time to win it back. You see that lovely bit of skill from Kubo. Just couldn't get past Fran Garcia. A reminder of talent for Takefusa Kubo. Now, Arambaru in the middle of the park. Nice drop of the shoulder there from Herrera. Now here's Kubo. Bit of green space opening up in front of him, but he takes his eye off the ball and just allows that to run away from him. Lack of concentration there from the Sociedad winger. And it is a Betis throw in. In the line from Garcia. There's Hernandez, but referee said he took too long on that and decision reversed. So referee saying he took 5 seconds before taking it. So decision has been reversed. And it is a throw in for Sociedad. Arambaru look for the feet of Oscarson. Nathan gets the touch. And it will be another Sociedad throw. Cleared again from Nathan up into the middle of the park. Sucic gets a touch to it. Now here's Sergio Gomez. The line for Barrenechea. Sociedad just holding on to the ball for a bit. Tried to settle themselves down. 10 minutes to go till half time. No goals in Seville. Now, to this right hand side, Zubeldia gets his head up, strides forward, has Oscarson and Kubo ahead of him, comes back infield to Yangel Herrera. Now Sucic now to the right hand side again. Barrenechea's peeled wide out to the touchline, takes on Bellerin, dances past him, lovely ball into the middle, but it's too close to Valles. He's looking for Oscarson. Lovely play from Barrenechea, brilliant wing play from the 24-year-old there. Just couldn't pick out his man. Nathan now fires one into the feet of Rodrigo Riquelme. Back to Marc Roca. Out to the right hand side is Hector Bellerin. Infield to Bernal. Fornals and Bellerin. Bernal does well to hold off the challenge of Sucic. Here's Marc Roca. Riquelme now comes narrow into the centre circle. Does well to hold on to it amidst pressure from Sociedad defenders. Marc Roca. Betis advancing up the field on this left hand side. Pablo Fornals looking for options, doesn't really have any in front of him. He goes to Marc Bartra. Bellerin and Anthony. Back toward Hector Bellerin. Fornals comes short, tries to play Anthony in behind again. He's gotten there before Gomez takes a tumble. Referee says play on. Gomez has done well after a bit of a tricky start against Anthony, and Sociedad have the ball again. Yangel Herrera once more in the middle of the park. In the engine room there for the Basque side. Kubo on halfway. Pressed by Riquelme that time. So the ball is just recycled. Out of Soler now. Sucic in the middle of the park. Step forward to inject a bit of energy. Gomez trying to get forward from left back, but that pass from Sucic is loose. And there's Bellerin to intercept and play one into the middle. That's over the head of Fornals though. Herrera gets into a challenge with Hernandez, who wins it back nicely for Betis. Riquelme back toward Cucho Hernandez. Fran Garcia screaming for it on this left hand side. Hernandez can't find him. Arambaru in the way. And then a Betis player goes down. Looks like it's Hernandez clutching his face. And he's remonstrating with Yangel Herrera. I think Cucho Hernandez feel as though there was a stray elbow there from Yangel Herrera on Cucho Hernandez. We'll see it again. Venezuela against Colombia there in the middle of the park. Hernandez gesticulating. Referee gives the free kick, but no other action taken. Riquelme now back to Garcia, who has to just shuffle quickly to try and pick it up. And Mark Bartra. Roca. It's out of his feet, out to this left-hand touchline. Riquelme, Garcia ahead of him. Riquelme drifts back into his right foot, finds the feet of Fornals, who can't quite hold on to it. Still there for Betis though, as Bellerin heads it out to the right-hand side, Here's Anthony, dances around Berenchea, cuts inside, and support out on the right wing for Fornals, whose cross has just played against Sergio Gomez, so throw in for Betis. Approaching the final 5 or so minutes of the first half as Bellerin goes chasing this loose ball. He won't reach it inside the penalty area as Ramiro puts his boot through it. Headed back towards the penalty area. And a head tennis going on here as Oscarson clambers over the back of Bernal. Roca, It is the Sociedad man who's penalised. Not one to shy away from an aerial duel. Ori Oscarson. Here's Anthony now along the right hand side. Again exchanges passes with Fornals. Gets it back to Bernal. Headed away that time by Aaron Buru. Nathan now. Lovely little ball in behind towards Bellerin. Just had too much on it there from Bernal. Right idea from the Uruguayan. But just hit it with a bit too much pace. And it remains scoreless here. Betis though certainly pressing for that opener, although certainly argue that Sociedad have had the best chance with that Oscars effort that was over the bar. They have a throw in though, right in front of Matarazzo's dugout, into the feet of Herrera, who's been really busy in the middle of that park. Arambaru now finds Herrera again. Zubeldia now. Hannah Soler. Sergio Gomez forward now for Berenchea. Gets around Bellerin really well, Berenchea, and plays it forward. Lovely stuff. Sucic on this left hand side, just held up in his advances by Bartra. Good experience defending from the former Barcelona man. Betis now trying to play their way out. Fornals dinks it forward for Riquelme in the middle. Lovely little touch to get around Arambaru, and now acres of space for Garcia on this left hand side. If he can pick him up, he can. Fran Garcia gets it out of his feet. His cross is blocked though. Hernandez free in the middle. Garcia couldn't get the ball over to him. Really good play that in the middle of the park by Riquelme. They just couldn't take advantage of the numbers. Just when it looked as though there was a chance on the counter, Betis just failed to capitalise. They come again though. Roca starting to have more of an influence over the game, as is the birthday boy Bernal. Lifted forward now. Down that left hand channel, Riquelme does well to control it. Can't quite find the reverse pass towards Garcia, and then Kubo bundled into the back of him by Roca. Referee says play on. Well, he did eventually, before coming back to award the free kick. Kubo has drawn a few free kicks today. And again, Betis are penalised. So we see that again. Just leans into him, does Mark Roca. A real bright spark, Takefusa Kubo. The Sociedad in this first half. Zubeldia now, just right-footed, launches it down the right-hand side. Oscarson tries to win the header, comes back to Kubo, little jink inside, finds Herrera looking for the return pass, but Kubo didn't make the run, holds out his hand to apologise to Herrera. It's straight out of play for a Betis goal kick. Can someone muster up a chance before half-time here? 43 minutes on the clock. Fran Garcia deep in his own half. Clips one down the line for Hernandez to chase. He won't reach that goal before it goes out of play. There will be a Real Sociedad pass. Still 0-0 here. Has been entertaining between these two sides. As Betis come forward through the middle of the park, fizzed out by Fornals to the feet of Anthony. Surrounded by two black shirts. Anthony inside the penalty area, trying to jink one way then the other, forced back to Bellerin. Thought about the early cross into the middle, instead just keeps hold of possession. Anthony again over on that right hand touchline. There's a runner in behind. Bernal, right foot across to the back post. Garcia gets the nod down towards Riquelme, comes out. Bernal with the effort, it's just wide. Really good effort from the debutant. They work it well down the right hand side again. Betis, deep cross to the back post, nodded down by Garcia. Riquelme just gets the touch. It sits up beautifully for Bernal at the edge of the box, right footed. He was always rising as they headed toward the top corner though. Half a chance, however, as Pellegrini looks on. What a birthday treat that would have been for Facundo Bernal. But it's still goalless. Betis feel they have been the more dominant side here at home. Sociedad poor away record for them last season, just 3 away wins in the league against Osasuna, Getafe and Mallorca. And they have another away game after this on Wednesday. They travel to the Bernabeu to face Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid. Betis also on the road. They go to the Mestalla to take on Valencia. So 2 tricky fixtures ahead for both sides. They'll be determined to get all 3 points as Hernandez picks it up in the middle of the park, sweeps it out to the right hand side into 2 minutes of additional time as Anthony runs at Sergio Gomez. Berenchea there for support. Bellerin out on the overlap, draws the defender. Still Anthony tries to squeeze across through the defenders. It comes off Sergio Gomez, out for a corner kick. Might be a chance here for Betis in additional time here at the end of this first half to open the scoring for their season. Anthony was going to take it, but he will leave it to the right foot of Fornal, so it will be an outswinger. Fornal steps up toward the penalty spot. Bernal gets his head onto it. It's just behind Marc Bartra and easily claimed there by Ramiro. Throws it quickly out to Kubo along this right hand side. Infield to Herrera. Zubeldi just slows it down a bit. 1 more minute of the additional 2 on the clock. Zubeldi again just looking ahead. Flips it toward the head of Oscarson, who gets the flick on, but it's nowhere really near Kubo. Easily intercepted by Fran Garcia. And Marc Bartra. Rocket coming deep to pick up possession here. To the right hand side for Hector Bellerin. Back as far as Alvaro Valles as Sociedad just up the pressure a bit. Nathan clips it forward down the line, looking for a flick on from Garcia, but Betis almost concede possession and eventually do, but Hernandez doing his best to try disrupt that Sociedad. Ball played forward by Berenchea towards Oscarson, but again well read, little flick there from Riquelme into Garcia, but referee has seen enough for the first half. At the break we are scoreless. Real Betis 0, Real Sociedad 0 in the opening game of the season for both. Chances for both sides, the best falling for Betis for Rodrigo Riquelme after just 90 seconds, but John Arambaru just did enough when it looked like he had a free header at the back post. Anthony has had an effort on target which he probably should have done better with. Facundo Bernal has gone close with an effort from distance. Best chance of the game for Real Sociedad. Ari Oscarson played through, got past Nathan with ease, 1-on-1 with Alvaro Valles, tried to lift it over him but got completely underneath it and fired it over the bar. So no goals at the break, 0-0 between Betis and Sociedad. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second half. Welcome back everybody to the second half action from the Spanish top flight with Real Betis hosting Real Sociedad. Scoreless at the break after the first 45 minutes, although an interesting game with the home side ever so slightly on top, although Sociedad did have the best chance of the first 45 minutes. Both sides back out onto the pitch in Seville and ready to go. No changes for either side at the break, as far as we can tell. Starting with Betis, Valles in goal, Bayern, Bartra, Nathan Garcia across the back, Bernal, Roca, Fornals in the middle of the park, Anthony and Riquelme either side of Hernandez. For Sociedad, it's Ramiro in goal, Arambaru, Zubeldia, Martin and Gomez as the back four. Herrera, Sucic and Soler in the middle with Kubo, Barnechea and Oscarson up front. So we are back underway for the second half. It's Betis who get us started for the second 45 minutes here. Can they find the opening goal in their season and in this game? Anthony challenge hard in the middle there, and it's the first yellow card of the game, flashed by referee Isdro Diaz, and it goes to Sergio Gomez, the left back. Ball broke in the middle of the park. Anthony played it forward and Gomez comes in. He's high, he's late, and there's contact. Can't really have too many complaints about that. Right on the halfway line, Gomez becomes the first player to be booked in this game. Maybe 30 seconds into this second half, so he'll be walking a tightrope for the remainder of the game. And now with the ball's at Anthony's feet, I wonder if former Ajax and Man United man will start to run at him a bit more. Got a bit of joy in that first half. And it's Betis again. It's a loose ball out from the back line towards Fran Garcia. Throwing conceded. Here's Yangel Herrera at the heart of much in that first half for Sociedad. And Martin. Here is Gomez down the line. Barnechea, didn't see too much of him in that first half, and he's given the ball away in the middle of the park. Hernandez snips in front of Zubeldia out to this right hand side. Anthony now has support, plays it back infield, gets it out of field. Cucho Hernandez has a pop but drags it wide. Good play initially. Hernandez sat up nicely for him at the edge of the box, right footed, looking to fire it towards that far post, but never really got hold of it. Rounds of applause around the stadium as Isco goes to warm up, and imagine we'll see him at some point this evening. Hernandez though just couldn't find the target there. And Sociedad again go direct. Kubo knocks it down towards Oscarson. Chance here now for the Icelandic. Tries to play it back towards Kubo. Well defended by Betis though. Just get enough bodies in the way as the ball was played back toward the penalty spot. And they clear their lines. Into the right hand side now. Sociedad have the ball. It's a loose pass back to Jean Martin, who has to stretch to control that and then run to keep it in play. Just about gets it back to Ramiro, who just puts his boot through it. Herrera lets that go to Kubo. He can't quite find Barnechea, but looked like he'd won it back. Barnechea from Roca. Referee blew his whistle though. Free kick to Betis, which they've taken quickly. Into the left hand side now. Betis holding on to it through Mark Roca. Over to Garcia, who drives past Arambaru. Really good from Fran Garcia. Left foot across into the middle, straight into the arms of Ramiro. But he was fouled by Arambaru, and a second successive yellow card is flashed toward a Real Sociedad fullback. First time we've really seen them attack down that left hand side properly. On the wrong side of Arambaru. Heavy challenge from the Venezuelan. Just as the ball came in. Again, can't really have too many complaints. So that is Gomez and Arambaru booked inside the first 5 minutes of the first half. In fact, it was Rodrigo Riquelme who took that heavy challenge, and he's still down receiving treatment. He is off the pitch. He sort of rolled over the sideline as the challenge was made. Arambaru still protesting his innocence next to the referee. Says he was just trying to close down the cross. Goes over to apologise. But it will be a free kick. It is another strong challenge from the fullback. So free kick in a really good position here for Betis, over near the end line. Chance to dink this one in from the left hand side. Nathan and Bartra there. Bernal making his presence felt as well. Anthony steps up, clips it toward the penalty spot. It's out to the edge of the box. Strike on goal is blocked and eventually played away by Sociedad, and they have a chance through Barnechea to come down this left hand side. He just loses possession though momentarily. Sociedad have it again in the middle. Sucic out to the right hand side where Kubo has found himself taking on the fullback. Kubo inside the penalty area onto his left foot. Can he strike it? He can. It's blocked up by Garcia. Comes out to the edge of the box. Arambaru with the effort. Parried away. Still not clear. Eventually Betis scramble it to the edge of the box. Offside flag is up though. And it will be a free kick. Not the most convincing goalkeeping from Alvaro Valles, you have to say. Kubo did really well receiving the ball to feet. Running at Garcia, checks back in onto his left foot. His initial strike is blocked. It comes back out to the edge of the box. Arambaru with the effort straight at Valles, who couldn't hang on to it. And then Carlos Soler in an offside position for the rebound. Hernandez now gives the ball away in the middle of the park. Here's Barnechea. Glides past Bernal really well. Barnechea still driving forward now to the edge of the box. Just leaves the ball behind him as he tried to lay it off to Oscarson. And now Betis can give it a bit of a frantic start to this second half in Seville. Mark Roca now. Here's Bayern. Ball forward. Easily cut out that time by Martin. Now Soler. Forward for Sucic. Angel Herrera now. Into the feet of Barnechea. Bayern nipping at his heels, but he escapes his pressure. Sucic now just goes straight into Bernal, and Betis have it back. Out to the left hand side now. Garcia forward from left back. Gets his head up. Low cross in towards Hernandez. Dealt with by Martin. And Sociedad come away with it. Game starting to open up a bit now as Soler plays it out to the right hand side. Sucic back in field. Carlos Soler. Sociedad just playing it at neat little triangles on the halfway line. And Martin now under a bit of pressure from Hernandez. Clipped forward by Zubeldia towards Oscarson. Nathan wins it in the air. Ball bounces in the middle of the park. Bernal tries to get a hold of it. Arambaru gets in front. Bernal may have left something on him there. Referee plays advantage. Gomez getting forward from left back. Barnechea. Now here's Yangel Herrera, 40 yards from the Betis goal. Gomez still in support over on this left-hand touchline. Infield to Barnechea. Receives the ball to feet, tries to play it back toward Gomez, but Bayern is there. He'll try to shepherd it out of play, but he's given away straight to Gomez. Oscarson, chance in the box. Can he get out of his feet? He can't. And eventually, Valles smothers it with help from Nathan. That was a chance, though. Hector Bayern, with a moment of a lack of concentration, allowed Gomez to win it back straight into the feet of Oscarson. Couldn't get the strike away as the ball was played into his feet. And we're still scoreless here. Now it's Betis' turn to attack. Here's Roca over to Bartra. Now Anthony wide on this right hand touchline. Berenche offering defensive support. Anthony cuts inside onto his left foot, drives one towards goal. Low effort is blocked. Anthony tries to retrieve it, but it comes back to Herrera. Now Oscarson, and suddenly it's 3-on-3. Betis trying to get bodies back as it's played out to Berenche on this left hand side. Lovely first touch from the Spanish winger. Tries to go around Bartra, but the captain stands his ground and just eases them out for a goal kick. Opportunity. Berenche isolated Mark Bartra along this left hand side, but couldn't get it to go. So Betis now coming forward along the left hand side. Pablo Fornals, Riquelme outside him, instead comes back inside to Cucho Hernandez. Here's Garcia. Now Riquelme receives the ball. Garcia up in support. Riquelme trying to cut past Arambarou, does well on a yellow card, remember, and then Riquelme just barrels into the back. There of the Sociedad player covering, concedes the free kick. Just becoming a bit frantic at the moment. Berenche just seemed to indicate to the bench that he may have done some damage to himself there, trying to get beyond Mark Bartra. Still on the pitch, but seemed to signal to the bench that he was ready to come off. Isco down there on the Betis sideline, receiving some instructions. Are we about to see him come on? Bayerin though, forward for Anthony, just on halfway. Little ball down the channel for Cucho Hernandez, who's gotten away from Zubeldia. Hernandez across. Riquelme is free. Riquelme can't get his photo onto it. Comes out to the left hand side though. Garcia up in support. Fizzes one into the middle. Arambarou heads away. Brilliant ball from Anthony. Arambarou struggling back to his feet after that. Betis still attack along the left. Riquelme ball in. Header away by Martin. Betis pressure piles on. Bartra has a go from way out, and it's easily wide. Bartra holds up his hands apologising. Wasn't the right option from the skipper. Brilliant defending from Arambarou though. Wonderful touch on the ball just as Riquelme was about to try put his foot on it. But it's out of play. Arambarou again just seems slightly worse for wear, holding his knee. And here comes the substitution, and it is Isco who is coming on. And for Cundo Bernal on his debut, lasts just under an hour. We see Fornals just drop slightly deeper into the middle next to Roca, but Isco onto the field of play. And Takefusa Kubo also withdrawn alongside Berenche for Betis. Oyarzabal makes his season debut. Sociedad talisman, just waiting to confirm the second one as well. For it's Alex Marshall who's on too for Sociedad. So Marshall out to this left hand side, Oyarzabal down the right, Oscarson through the middle again. Here is Mikel Oyarzabal, does well to keep it in play and find Yangel Herrera. Now Sucic in the middle of the park. Soler looking out to his left toward Gomez, but no real space out on that side. So they keep it with the defenders. Zubeldia forward for Soler. Heavy touch from him. And Garcia just trying to find a teammate. Roca gets his clearance closed down now. Here's Oyarzabal. Heavy touch from him. Allows Garcia to just nick in, put a tackle in. Just not quite getting to the pitch of the game yet, Mikel Oyarzabal. So throw in over the far side for Sociedad. Betis protesting this decision as Isco just tumbles over Yangel Herrera. Here is Sociedad on the ball. Over on the right hand side, Zubeldia. Jean Martin into Soler again. Just trying to get a bit of a foothold here in this second half. They've rung the changes. Oyarzabal, the talisman. Martial making his first team debut. Academy product, just 18 years of age, Alex Martial. Proud moment for him. Can he have an influence on this game? Zubeldia just closed down there as he was trying to clear it. It's played into the middle. Here is Martial with his first touch, trying to bring it down and hold off Fornals, looking for Oyarzabal, who just leaves that pass behind him. Garcia, really good at driving forward with intensity through the middle. Finds Anthony, continues his run. Anthony comes inside, plays it out to the left. Rodrigo Riquelme inside the Sociedad box, looks to get it on his right foot, goes down under a challenger, Arambaru, who won the ball cleanly. Good play by the fullback. And they can come forward now. Nothing in that. Really good defending from Arambaru, who had to get that tackle right. Herrera now trying to hold off players in the middle, but he's given it away. Anthony now wins it back. Anthony running straight through the middle. He's side down there by Igor Zubeldia. And it's another Sociedad yellow card. 3. I don't know if they're starting back 4 now in the referee's book. Anthony really drove that forward, won the ball himself in the middle of the park, carried toward goal with intent, shifted it onto his left foot, and Zubeldia just with the outstretched right leg brings him down. Free kick to Betis now in a decent chance here. Just over an hour gone. Free kick slightly out to the left hand side. Isco and Garcia standing over it. Substitute looks ahead of him. Can he pick someone out here? It's just been introduced off the bench. Isco steps up, clips it toward the back post. Looking for a head back across goal. It might drop to Nathan. You've sent it to the back post. No one there to avail of it. But offside flag is up regardless against the Brazilian defender. As we see it again, the initial header in there. So Nathan offside, so it is a free kick to Sociedad. Long ball forward from Romero. Oscarson the target. He can't quite control it, and it's sent down the right hand side. Anthony giving chase. Can he beat Martin to it? He can. Needs to get it under control here, Anthony, and he does. Gets it out of his feet, finds Hernandez at the edge of the box, lifted towards Riquelme. First time strike, it's a brilliant goal for Betis, who opened the scoring. Their front 3 combined splendidly, and it's Rodrigo Riquelme with the opening goal of the season for Betis. Just past the hour mark. Pellegrini's side take the lead. It's a delightful Rodrigo Riquelme goal, and it is 1-0 Betis. Lovely combination play between the front 3. Anthony receives it to feet, keeps calm, finds a centre forward in Cucho Hernandez at the edge of the box. A lovely little dink to the back post, and Riquelme, first time on the volley, just caresses it into the bottom corner. A gorgeous finish from the Spaniard. And Betis have liftoff in the 26-27 season. He only scored 1 goal last season in the league, Rodrigo Riquelme. He's already equalled that total today. And the home side lead by 1-0. Can Sociedad respond? What a lovely, lovely Betis goal that was. Oh well, Pellegrini will be absolutely delighted with that. Front 3 all involved, and now they push forward for a second as Garcia wins it back. Anthony is free. Can he pick him out? He can. Anthony takes it under control with his chest, but can't fire off the strike on time before the defenders get around. And it's an easy take for Ramiro. Almost an immediate second there for Betis. But Sociedad just scramble enough bodies back to intervene. Soler now clips it out to this left-hand side. Sergio Gomez. Sociedad haven't really carved anything out with Kubo and now Berenchea off. They're going to have to rely on Oyarzabal to maybe come up with something magic, as he has done so many times over the years. Sergio Gomez just miscontrols that one there. Allows it to go out of play. And Betis have possession once again. 25 minutes remaining. Nathan clips it forward, but Helme had come short and the ball went long. Here's Zubeldia now for Real Sociedad. Just plays it square to Jean Martin as they approach the halfway line. Gomez, Manchester City man, of course, as well as Club Brugge. Now here's Arambaru. Gets it out of his feet, plays it forward down the right hand side. Soler picks it up, but again, no real options ahead of him. Sociedad holding on to possession without really penetrating this Betis backline. You do wonder if Pellegrini's side will just sit back. That's a poor ball though from Martin, straight to Anthony, who lifts it over the top. Could be another chance here. Lovely play initially. They're through again. Isco with the chance. It's a brilliant save from Ramiro. Outstretched left leg denies the Betis skipper. Really should have been two. Anthony involved again. Up towards Hernandez, who does brilliantly to take it under control. Cut back inside. Isco made the run from deep. He finds him with the pass. The first touch sets him perfectly. Just losing his footing as he hits it with his left foot. Saved by Ramiro. Out for a corner kick. Isco to take. Delivers towards the near post. Bit of a scramble. Might break to the edge of the box. Sociedad trying to clear. They eventually do. But that was a golden opportunity for Isco. Just couldn't take advantage. Cucho Hernandez involved again. Hasn't had too many chances himself in front of goal, but he's got one assist, nearly had another there. Here is Isco again. Lovely little nutmeg on Sergio Gomez. Before he's hauled down, Gomez needs to be careful on a yellow card. Delightful play from Isco. Just dragging it between Gomez and Soler. What an opportunity that was. Misplaced pass in the middle. Lovely ball over the top from Anthony. Brilliant play by Hernandez. And Isco, you'd have to say, will be disappointed. A man of his talent and capability. It's good pressure by Soler, who tracked him the whole way. But you would expect Isco to score. Good save though from Alex Ramiro. Fran Garcia again, adventurous as ever, trying to get forward. Ball breaks though in the middle of Sociedad. Black shirt streaming forward. Soler out to his right hand side. Here's Oyarzabal onto his left foot inside the penalty area. Lays it back. It's off the post. Still might be there. Marshall hesitates on it. Back to the edge of the box. It's off the post again. Gomez this time crashes the other side of the woodwork. What an opportunity for Sociedad. Soler releasing. Oyarzabal keeps his calm, lays it inside. Suchic's left-footed effort crashes off the foot of the post. It's recycled back to Gomez on the other side, who crashes it off the other top of the left-hand post. Somehow it's still 1-0 to Betis. And what a second half we're having here. Approaching 20 minutes remaining. Ball given away in the middle of the park by Sociedad, and then Valles just clears into the night sky. Fornals now lays it off. Bayerin back to Mark Roca. Long ball forward, looking for Riquelme, trying to get in behind Arambaru. He does well initially. Jean Martin's clearance comes straight off Isco, but luckily for him, comes back to Ramiro. He finds Orizabal. Big chance. That for Sociedad. How it didn't go in. But at the moment, Betis' goal remains unbreached. Double substitution coming for Sociedad as they attack this left-hand side. Gomez again, looking for the ball in towards Oscarson. Valles came out, kept it in play. Marshall looking for Oscarson again. Bartra this time does enough. And they eventually get a goal kick as the clearance is played off the Sociedad ban. But Valles just playing himself in all sorts of trouble there. Ball was going out and he slid to keep it in play, but it went straight to Marshall. Oscarson again just caught on his toes. So Ian Munoz coming on, as is Beñat Torrientes. Looks like it will be a double change. As we see this again, the two shots off the post, first from Sucic, beat Valles, all end up, and then it comes back to Gomez, who unleashes a brilliant effort from the edge of the box. As both sets of players now take the opportunity to get some fluids on board. So the substitution will come after this cooling break. So it looks like Ian Munoz will probably replace Sergio Gomez. No real surprise there. Gomez on a yellow card and up against Anthony. Let's see who Torrientes comes on for. We need some more legs in the middle of the park, which Torrientes certainly provide. Another academy product for Sociedad. We see the goal again as well. Anthony to Hernandez, one touch, clipped over the top. Riquelme, gorgeous first time finish for the opening goal of the season for Betis. No chance for Alex Romero. Perfectly placed, finished from Rodrigo Riquelme. Marc Bartra assuring that he got his just applause from the crowd as well. Really brilliant pick out from Hernandez there as well. As always, run himself into the ground. So that double change has come. Yangel Herrera off. Hasn't had much of an influence in the second half as he did in the first. Torrientes replaces him, and then as expected, straight swap at left back. Ian Munoz on for Sergio Gomez. Betis also making a change, and it's the goal scorer Rodrigo Riquelme who's off, and Pablo Garcia will come on in his place. Another like for like swap. Garcia, 20 years of age, getting involved in the action straight away. Made 30 appearances so far for Betis, 25 of them came last year. And he's on for Rodrigo Riquelme. So ball with Alex Romero now. Just over 15 minutes remaining for Sociedad to try and play their way in to this game again. So close to equalising just moments ago with those two consecutive efforts off the post. Martin back to Romero. That is still working hard off the ball here. Romero, right-footed ball forward, down this left-hand side. Munoz the target, Bayern steps in. And then Roca plays it all the way back to Valles. Under pressure from Oscarson. Valles does well to find Nathan out to his left. And now here's Garcia. A little ball inside. Fornals out to Bayern. Anthony picks it up as well. Back infield towards Pablo Fornals again, who's just sitting a bit deeper since Isco came onto the field. Sent forward there by Bartra toward no one in particular, and Romero can easily gather. forward now for Corrientes. Picked out Marshall. Now Munoz down this left hand side. First chance for him to scamper forward. Soler clips it out for the right hand side towards Arambaru. Gets it to feed Orzabal inside. He ignores him for the moment. Fizzed in by Zubeldia toward no one again. In particular now a chance for Betis to break. They've numbers on the left hand side. It's Garcia. First real involvement since coming on. Has options in the middle. Comes back to the edge of the box. Fornals with the effort and it just dribbles wide of the post. Pablo Fornals can't quite find the target. He's the one who started the counter-attack. Garcia driving to the edge of the box. Slips it towards Fornals onto his left foot. He was always heading wide. From the Spaniard, I think Isco wanted the pass back into him. But Fornals ignored him, went himself, and then just couldn't quite find the target. Now Orzabal comes forward. Ball just drifts under the foot of Marshall, but it comes out to Munoz. Orzabal continues his run forward, but Munoz plays it infield. Torrientes. Carlos Soler. Picked up again, this time by Sucic, out to the right hand side for Arambaru. Sucic once more. He used that long stride of his to break through the Betis lines. Carlos Soler. Here's Zubeldia, now Jean Martin. Munoz wants it out wide, instead they keep it narrow. Torrientes, nice ball out to the right hand side. Arambaru, bit of space to get the cross in. He's closed down by Garcia, out for a corner kick. Better from Sociedad though as they go hunting for that equaliser. 76 minutes on the clock. Betis 1, Sociedad 0. So Soler to deliver, be right-footed, out-swinger in toward the penalty spot. Beyond everyone, might come to the back post though, it does. Picked up here by Munoz, left-footed ball, dinked into the middle, headed away that time from Betis. Torrientes can gather it 40 yards from the Betis goal. Sociedad continuing the pressure. Orzabal now, just outside the penalty box. Has support on the right-hand side. Keeps it himself for the moment. Orzabal back in field. Torrientes. Nowhere to go except out to the right-hand side. Strike from distance. Straight into the arms of Valles. Not the best effort there. Long way out. Easy gather from Valles. It was Sucic who had the effort. Pablo Garcia now just muscled off the ball illegally so by Arambaru. Maybe a free kick to Betis, who had that brilliant chance from Isco to make it 2-0. Another goal you'd imagine will just see this beyond Sociedad, but still a long time to go here. Clipped out to this right hand side towards Bellerin. And they find Anthony, but can't quite. And now Sociedad have possession again. Here's Munoz near this left hand touchline. Little ball infield to Torrientes, and he's picked out a nice pass. Soler, space open on the right hand side here. Sucic, ball out of his feet, left footed cross towards the back post, looking for Oscarson, but well headed away by Bartra. Hernandez then gets mixed up, but it breaks nicely. Pablo Garcia, it's 2-on-2. Garcia has Fornals up with him. If he can find him, he can. It's Cucho Hernandez, goal, chance. Hernandez straight at the goalkeeper. Still there for Betis, and Anthony trying to drift past Marshall. Muscles off him. Fornals now at the edge of the box, lays it square. First time strike on goal from Isco. Easy take. Hernandez though with a chance there on the counter-attack. It opened up for Garcia. It was Cucho Hernandez with the effort, right-footed straight at the goalkeeper, saved by Ramiro with his legs. Hernandez shakes his head, thought he should have done better there, but still remains a 0-0. Heavy challenging there from Isco on Marshall, but Sociedad keep going, and then Oscarson is just hacked to the ground by Nathan. Yellow card shown by the referee. First one of the game for Betis. The Brazilian defender, Oscarson, doing the same thing he did in the first half when he went through on goal. So, yellow card flashed toward Nathan. Substitution here for Real Betis. Cucho Hernandez again. Played really well today, got an assist. He's been working really hard off the ball. He comes off for the final 10 minutes. Nelson Diossa replaces him. Signed last summer. Diossa, Colombian. He'll just provide a more defensive approach. Former Monterrey man, signed from the Mexican club. 30 appearances last season in his debut season in Europe. As Soler stands over this free kick, middle of the goal, clips it toward the back post. Valles comes and easily claims out of the sky. Rolls it to the feet of Isco. Betis trying to start a counter here. It's out to the left hand side. Pablo Garcia. Back toward Isco, who just slows everything down a bit. And Fran Garcia. Back to Valles. Pressure by Orzabal. Valles gets his clearance away toward the halfway line. One in the air by Zubeldia, but it comes back down to Isco. Little ball over the top for Diossa to chase. Martinez there first though, and defends that really well. Arambaru under pressure from Garcia. Just about gets his clearance away, and it breaks in the middle. Marshall now. Just inside the centre circle. Ball forward. Looking for Sucic to chase, but once more Nathan, aware of the danger, gets across. Plays it back to his goalkeeper. Valles clips it out to this right hand side. It won't quite reach Bayern. Orzabal on the stretch trying to win it back, but he's given it straight to Betis. Now here's Anthony. Stopped in his track by Munoz, who comes back the other way. Anthony goes to ground to make the challenge. Throw in for Sociedad. Now Turrientes, 30 yards from the Betis goal. Looked like he was about to line up a strike there, but instead recycles possession. And Sociedad will start again. Turrientes deep in his own half. Now strides forward with real purpose. Out to Munoz on this left-hand wing. Feints the cross, cuts back inside onto his right foot, going around in circles. Now we get the cross in towards the near post. Oscarson can't quite control it. My fault. Orzabal trying to get it a strike away. It's there. Brilliant save by Valles on Oscarson. What a chance for Sociedad. Orzabal putting it on a plate for Oscarson. Somehow gets the pass away inside the penalty area, 8 yards out. And it's straight at the goalkeeper from Ari Oscarson. He's had two big opportunities in this game. One in the first, one in the second. But he was closed down in a flash by the goalkeeper. But they have had their opportunities, have Sociedad. Just haven't been able to convert. Orzabal, lovely feet in such tight spaces. Nutmegs Mark Bartra to make the pass. First time effort from Oscarson. But Valles closes him down. What an opportunity that was for the Icelandic striker. Will he get another one? 7 minutes remaining. Betis still lead by a goal to 1. Zubeldia now on halfway. Ball into the middle. Orzabal nearly has it intercepted from him, but Sociedad still in possession through Ramiro. David. Turrientes. Zubeldia again. Turrientes getting on a lot of balls since his introduction. Here's Collar Soler. No way forward. Garcia and Diossa working really hard in that front line. Betis have nearly gone to a 4-4-2 at this point, with Garcia and Diossa up front. Isco drifting out to the left hand side. Jean Martin again. just on the halfway line. Soler. Sociedad not really going anywhere at the moment. Martial comes short. First time ball back to Torrientes inside the Betis half now. Ball forward though is a poor one. It's intercepted by Fornals, and now the break is on again. Diossa has Anthony out to his right hand side. He's picked him out. Garcia and Isco in the middle. Anthony going himself into the penalty area. Lays it back. Diossa. Chance for him. Looking for the top corner, but good save there from Romero. Plucks it out of the sky. Nelson Diossa searching for his first Betis goal. Denied by the Real Sociedad goalkeeper on that occasion. So here is Torrientes. Forward now for Martial. Lets it run beyond him, but that allows Bellerin to snatch possession from him. Isco now. Back to Fornals. Delightful pass out to Pablo Garcia. Anthony looking for it at the back post. Garcia infield onto his right foot. Lays it back to Diossa. Here's Isco. Looking for Bellerin, who's ventured forward. It comes back to Roca, and now here's Anthony over on this right hand side. Anthony lays it back infield. Roca again. Betis just trying to hold on to the ball and hold on to this lead. Mark Bartra under a bit of pressure, does well to pick out Anthony. Now here's Bellerin. Bartra again out to this right hand side. Anthony enticing Martial to come in and close him down. Anthony momentarily loses his footing but holds on to possession. Diossa. This is good from Betis, just keeping hold of the ball, not letting Sociedad anywhere near possession, and inside the opposition half as well. So swept out by Bartra to Anthony again along this right hand side. A really good ball, one-on-one against Munoz. Anthony inside onto his left foot, gets the strike all wrong. Wild effort from the Brazilian. You not saw what he was trying to do, curling it in, but just couldn't find the target. As we see that Oscarson chance again. They've had some brilliant opportunities, Sociedad, to level this up, but still haven't found their first goal of the season as of yet. Still 1-0. Substitution now for Sociedad. Lucas Susic is off, and he's replaced by Arsene Zakarian. As they come forward now, Oscarson, little ball in behind, chance here, good save. Zakarian nearly involved straight away, but the offside flag is up against the substitute. Faez won't care, he's made another stop. Oscarson doing really well to get beyond Bartra. A little slip pass towards Zakarian. Just made his move too quickly, but Faez off his line quickly again to make the save. He wouldn't have known the offside flag was about to go up. What an introduction that would have been for Zakarian. He did just make that run too quickly. Martin heads away over Diossa. Oscarson goes down holding his head following a challenge from Bartra. We play on. He's back to his feet now. Bit of head tennis going on in the middle. Torrientes hooks it forward. Bellerin in the way for Betis. It comes back. It comes off the hand of Pablo Fornals, and he's penalised right in the centre circle. So free kick to the visitors, approaching the 90-minute mark. Betis lead by the narrowest of margins. Rodrigo Riquelme just past the hour mark with the goal. Sociedad looking for a late response. Here is Orizabal. Back to Arambaru, in towards Oscarson, tries to flick it toward the back post. Zubeldi has gone nearly playing centre forward, nearly picked him out. Orizabal making things happen. Zakarian with the ball. Good defending at the back post by Hector Bellerin, just to put it behind for a corner. Betis hanging on a bit here. Zakarian with the corner, right-footed outswinger toward the near post. Diossa boots it clear into the stand. Sociedad travelling fans look nervous. Like the long trip down from the Basque Country to Seville. Long throw in coming from the right hand side. Launched into the penalty area, looking to get the flick. Roca gets the touch for Betis. Now Diossa trying to carry it the other way. He just gets it nicked off him, and then Zakarian is just hacked down over the far side. Yellow card coming. Second of the game for Betis. Fran Garcia that time was never going to reach it before the Sociedad midfielder. And a free kick in a really, really dangerous area. Fran Garcia enters the book. Over on this right hand side, chance for Sociedad to deliver this into the box. Ball placed down by Carlos Soler, another outswinger, as he looks to pick out a teammate. Movement inside that penalty box. 5 additional minutes at the end of this game. 2-man wall for Betis. Soler delivers straight into the palms of Valles. Claims it with real confidence. And now launches it forward. Pablo Garcia, the only one up for Betis. And he may have gotten the wrong side here. Pablo Garcia could be through on goal. Good block there. Eventually at the back it was Munoz who initially made the error to allow Garcia in, but recovered just on time to get the block in before the strike could be taken. Just let that go under his foot initially, but Garcia, second touch wasn't great, took him wide and allowed Munoz to come in to close that space. Corner kick for Betis. They just go short with it. Pellegrini's men now holding on to this narrow lead for an opening day victory in the league. Hector Bellerin trying to get beyond Soler. He's given it away, and then now a chance here for Orizabal down the left hand side. Orizabal, lovely little pirouette into the feet of Soler. Torrientes just caught napping on it by Isco, and now Betis charged forward through Diossa. Garcia out to his left, Anthony to his right. Diossa holds onto it himself for the moment and then loses possession. Probably should have let that go, Nelson Diossa. Now here's Marshall. Anthony busting a gut to try get back and help out defend. Oyarzabal back as far as Martin. Betis players out in their feet a bit here as they need to hang on for 3 more minutes of the additional 5. Ball in from the right hand side. It's ballooned to the back post. Munoz trying to reach it. He won't. It's out for a Betis throw in and some reprieve for the home side. Yellow card flashed in the direction of Hector Bellerin there for a strong challenge on Torrientes in the middle of the park. So that's 3 yellow cards each. 3 out of their 4 defenders for both teams picking up bookings. Here's Ramiro now. Forward for Martin. Halfway through the 5 additional minutes here at La Cartuja. Forward from Ramiro, headed on, but it's headed straight to Anthony, and now it's 4-on-3 in favour of Betis in the counter-attack. Anthony needs to pick the right option, plays it out to the left-hand side. Garcia takes a touch. Sociedad get bodies back, has Diossa in support. Nelson Diossa takes a touch inside the penalty area. Ball to Anthony at the edge of the box. It's a good save. First time effort from Anthony, looking for that bottom corner. Ramiro down smartly to his right to gather. That surely would have wrapped it up. Loose pass though. Torrientes chance. Fornals trying to find Isco, who just slipped and couldn't take it under control. Now Sociedad come forward. Here's Orizabal on the half turn, on the halfway line, looking out wide to Marshall, who does brilliantly to keep it in play. Marshall floats the ball to the back post. Oscarson is there. It's brilliant defending though from Nathan. Just gets the touch in front of the striker and puts it behind for a corner. Delightful ball from Marshall. Oscarson had peeled away to the back post, but Nathan, brilliant defending, celebrates it like a goal in front of those Betis fans behind the posts. Corner kick for Sociedad. This may be the last opportunity to salvage a draw here. Corner kick. Soler to take. Right-footed. delivers toward the penalty spot. Big header away by Bartra. Back in towards the penalty area. Betis scrambling to get it away. They just about have. Sent back by Ramiro. Bellerin heads clear this time. Offside flag up against Sociedad. Bellerin pumping a fist to celebrate. That maybe that 45 seconds or so left. Sociedad players just too slow coming back. Pellegrino Matarazzo, I don't think he's too happy with his goalkeeper for sending that forward so early. Betis fans inside their feet inside the Olympic Stadium. They're heading for an opening day home victory here in the league for the new season. Anthony holding off Munoz, tries to control it, doesn't manage to do so, but Betis still have possession here with Isco. Wins a throw in just inside his own half as we tick towards the conclusion of this game. Pellegrini on his feet, and there is the full-time whistle. It is a win for Manuel Pellegrini and Real Betis. Rodrigo Riquelme's second half strike the difference. A delightful goal. Anthony and Cucho Hernandez all involved. A brilliant pass by the Colombian over the top. Saw Rodrigo Riquelme fire home past Ramiro to make it 1-0. Sociedad, though, had brilliant chances, hitting the post twice in quick succession. First through Sucic and then through Sergio Gomez. But the best chance of all fell to Ariel Oscarson, picked out brilliantly by Mikel Orizabal, who came off the bench in the second half. But from about 8 yards fired it straight at Valles, who made a brilliant save. Really entertaining game in the opening of this Spanish top flight season. And it's Betis who come away with the opening day spoils. Final score from La Cartuja: Real Betis 1, Real Sociedad 0. Thanks so much.